Alright guys, so first thing is I just wanted to go over some brushes. I know that's one of the things that especially people starting out are not sure which brushes to get, or if you're trying to buy just the most basic just to start off with. I'll show you some basic brushes that usually would be what you would want at least minimum to have just for starters, and then of course there's so many more that you can add to your collection after and to be do a little more precision type of stuff, but we'll go through those again. So the ones I have here are 3 face brushes, which will be for applying foundation, for example. So this one here is the F80 Flat Kabuki from Sigma. This is one of my best, just absolute best brushes. It's very dense. It's a kabuki, but it's flat in the top and very, very dense. So this is great for stiffly and pressing that product onto your skin, making sure that your foundation becomes one and turns with your skin, if you know what I mean. So just kind of sampling like this was our face here, and just kind of very delicately, not too hard, but then you can also blend around with this. You don't want to do just this back and forth, because all you're doing would be spreading, and you don't want to spread foundation. You want to go ahead and make it part of your skin so it looks natural and pretty. This pink one here is also a kabuki. It's also from Sigma 3D HD. This one you don't have to have. I like this one because it is just as dense as the flat one, but this one has, you will see, to like an angle on it. So this is really good when you use this for certain contours of your face and get in areas like that you normally can, like between your nose, but it's still really dense, so that's really good. This is also a face brush. This is, you can't even read it, an Urban Decay foundation brush. Personally, I don't really like these type of brushes. All you do basically with this is just put on your foundation and kind of spread it around your face. But usually when you go with something like this, you do after when you go in with a beauty blender, you know, a sponge or whatever it is that you like to use, to just stamp that on after and just make sure that it is into your skin, that it is built in with your skin. Okay, so those would be your face brushes. So let me just now forgive my mess, because let me try to, I should have gotten this done before. So let me get my brushes in here. So I have this cool little brush case. I definitely need more than one. But you see I have like the pearls that I put on it there to hold my brushes, which was, you know, a good idea just to have any container, and then you put some pearls or something. I also have these gold sequins. I intend, hopefully someday, to fill them up with the sequins. Those are from Pat McGrath. If you ever purchased anything from her, all of her products come in a little baggie, and that is just filled with sequins. And depending on the type of color story she has, like these are all gold, but I know that the Rose Decadence that's coming is going to be rose sequins, so that one's going to be really, really, really pretty. Okay, so now let me show you the other brushes here. I'll show you first the type of brushes, and then I'll tell you which ones are best just to have just basic. This is your concealer type brush. It will always be a dense. This one's a little already, but it's just pointy, and it's good to just pack on your crease, your concealer, I'm sorry, and just kind of pack it on to where it's a little bit more precise. This is also another concealer type brush. So while it's not necessary, you definitely can use this to help just add the concealer to specific parts that you need to target. Like if you have a dark spot or something you want to try to cover up, or underneath, of course, your eye, you can patch that on also. There is another type of concealer foundation concealer brush, which this one here is a concealer blending brush. So this is just similar like any blending brush, just this one actually says concealer, And this one is more fluffy, like your regular blending brushes that you would use on your eyes. And this is nice to just kind of like blend in your foundation. I'm sorry, your concealer. I don't know what I'm saying. This is an eye crease. This I do think is necessary to have. It's convenient to have an eye crease. This comes a little bit pointed and it is a little fluffy. So it helps to go into that part under your brow bone where you want to go ahead and start your color. And it's great because since it is a little puffy, it will help blend in the outside part. So this helps a lot with not just applying that product eyeshadow under your brow bone, but also help start blending a seamless blend. This is an ordinary shadow brush, which that you definitely need. You want at least one shadow brush. They're not too dense, but they are a bit dense, and they are more dense, so you can really pack on color onto where you really want a bolder, more packed punch. Give it a big color. This is your blending brush types. There's of course many different kinds. There's different sizes. So you always want to have one regular shadow brush at minimum, one type of blending brush. This is heaven sent. This is what you're going to need to blend in your eyeshadows and make sure that they are seamless. When you see people with that beautiful blend and you're like, wow, how did you do that? Well, it's just practice. It's just blending, 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 blending. This is the same one we already went over. We have a smudge brush. You don't necessarily need this, but it's good. This one in particular, which is really skinny but dense, is good for the area under the eye. If you want to like put your liner in your waterline and just kind of smudge that down to the lower part, it's really good for that. But usually when you get certain palettes, like let me see if I can find one. When you get a palette, they have two different, for example, they have like two different brushes. My God, I don't know what I'm saying. Then one of the ends usually will be available for you to help you just smudge that like this here. So this is an Urban Decay brush, like one of the ones that comes in every palette. So you'll see this one will be the side for your blending, and this one here will be really, really good for you to just go in and really pack that color and smudge it if you need to. This is just your regular eyebrow brush. This one has two ends, so this one's good to really define your brush, your brows. Oh my God, I'm all over the place. If you need to. Now, of course, you need a good, also you need to have a nice brush for contouring, a brush for if you contour, a brush for your blush. So blush are usually going to be a little bigger, angled, and have a little bit of little freeway to be able to just easily line over that part where you want to apply your blush. Same thing with there's so many different contour type, but you can just choose something that is just simple, angled, so you can really go in and really get in that under your cheekbone or wherever it is you want to contour. So those are just mainly the more important. There is some bigger blush brushes like this one, but they can, it just depends on what you want to use, what you like, what you feel more comfortable. But at a minimum, I would say make sure you get a concealer brush. Make sure you have at least one concealer brush. Make sure that you try to get a eye crease brush if you can, but it's not a must. If you can only get a few, you can go with, make sure you have your shadow brush, always a shadow brush, and always a blending brush. So top three, let's say, will be your concealer, your blending, and your eyeshadow brush at minimum. Once you want to get a little more technical on like doing cut creases and things of that sort, then you can build your collection little by little and start getting a little bit more things for precision. This one here is called Pencil Me In, and this is just really good like when you do your pencil liner and you want to just help do a line with your eyeliner. Then you have like really precise skinny ones like this that are great if you apply gel liner, things of that sort. So these are a little more technical, but they're available there for you if you want to, you know, get little by little. So that's a little tiny, not that tiny, but a little tiny video on brushes. And then we'll go over actually applying them in just a moment. Be back. Thank you for watching.